If they're landing on the page and they're spending more than a minute or two on there, great. But what are they doing after that? Are they making the purchase? If not, that is a telltale sign that they are sitting there thinking about it, but they're leaving the checkout or they're not closing that conversion. Off-brand visuals, DIY design, and stocky imagery easily lose trust. Premium clients won't trust non-premium branding. So we're going to talk about the real problem here, because it's not the traffic, it's the trust. So in order to have a high converting website, people should include the following things. Welcome to Marketing Your Brand, the podcast for business owners who are done wasting time and money on marketing that isn't right for them. I'm Peggy Worrell, award-winning agency owner and your straight talking guide through the joys and chaos of growing your business. In every episode, I skip the fluff and talk openly about what actually works. If you're ready to do marketing the right way for you, let's go. So you're showing up online, you've got a website and you're posting on socials. Maybe you're spending money on ads, but the leads are barely coming in. Or even worse, you're spending a lot of money on ads and the leads aren't coming in. What the actual problem is here is it's not that you're not getting people looking at your things or your website or your ads. You're getting the traffic, you're getting people interested, but they're not converting. They're not giving you the return on investments. So we get clients that come to us in the agency, and there's a common complaint and a very easy solution that can happen here. I'm going to explain it to you. It's the biggest problem that you will have when you're trying to convert sales online. You're running traffic. You've got people clicking on your ads. They're interested, they're eager, they're going to your website. They're nothing. Or worse, you're spending lots of money and you're getting 2 clicks or 2 people looking at what you're offering. It's a common problem with small business owners who are doing everything themselves or relying on gurus or coaches and DIYing their side of the business. And it's all right, it's normal, it's common, it happens. But when you go to an agency, when an agency has the right experience and skill set, they can learn to see what's working and what isn't. And generally, we look at certain metrics and we have a look at your user journey and what you're saying and how they're converting. But for you, it's going to be a little bit tricky if you don't know what to look for, because you technically don't have a visibility problem. You have a trust and conversion problem. And it's the number one reason why you're not getting leads online. Your website isn't converting, it's confusing people. The more that your traffic sits on your website or looks at a page or looks at a form, and the more they're given doubt in their mind, that kills the conversion. So we're going to talk about the real problem here, because it's not the traffic, it's the trust. And most people think they need more eyeballs, more traffic, more ad spend, more people looking at an ad to get conversions. And while that might be somewhat truthful to a degree, it's not going to be profitable for a business to maintain. Any business, I don't care what size you are, you can't be throwing from thousands or tens of thousands to an ad campaign if it's not going to be profitable. So what's the point of driving traffic if the destination isn't set up to convert? As marketers, we know what to look for. A professional marketer will know what the ad campaign or average is for your industry or what you're trying to sell. And they'll look at things across your funnel. So things like, what's the ad campaign doing? Who's it talking to? Who's it converting? They'll also look at what happens after the first click onto your website or your sales funnel. And this is the mindset business owners need to have, because confusion will kill your conversions. Let's break it down. People don't read. They're not fully invested when they see your ad. They'll be scanning it. They might pay half attention. They might be listening to your ad on the radio. They might be scanning on their phone while on their quick lunch break or doing the laundry. They might be out bored sitting at a restaurant where there's noise and people talking around them, and they'll just quickly, scroll through the feed. So they're going to really pay half attention to what your ads are saying, and they're going to scan. But they might click it because they got somewhat interested, and they'll get to your website. While their interest may have been piqued during the ad, it's going to quickly die off within the first 3 seconds of them looking at your landing page or your website, because it's not keeping them interested. So when they've landed on your website or your funnel, in the first 3 seconds, they're going to know and they're going to think, do I like them? In the first 5 to 8 seconds, they're going to think, is this for me? Or can I trust them? Or what should I do next? And if your website is messy, outdated, off-brand, unclear, you haven't built trust, you've lost them. So remember this, confusion gives friction. And if you have friction, you've lost trust. If you have too long a pause between making the click and making the decision to purchase, you've lost the conversion. So here's a few signs that you need to think about whether you're looking at your ad or your funnel and thinking, am I deterring my own leads? Is this going to work? You want to ask yourself, does the design of where I'm sending them after the click, so whether that's your website, your funnel, whether it's a form or an email campaign that you're sending them to, does that design build trust? Am I using the trust factors? Is my design user-friendly? Is it going to talk directly to what they're feeling or where they're at the time they're looking at the ad? Does it scream professional or DIY? I got a person on Fiverr to do this. Would you trust this brand at a glance? Think of what you're saying, your clear messaging. Can a total stranger understand what you offer in less than 10 seconds? We've all heard, or if people have businesses and they've been around for a while, everyone's heard of the elevator pitch. So think of it as a micro elevator pitch after the ad. Are you saying the right things? What are they going to understand? Is your headline customer focused or is it all about you? And there's two different mindsets you need to be in, because a customer focused headline is going to perform differently to a headline about the business. And you also want to look at what your calls to action are doing. Is it obvious what they should be doing next? We get clients all the time go, they just need to purchase. They should know that. No, you need to plant the seed. You need to think about all these things when they're looking at your ads and after they're looking at your ads. Are you telling them what to do? Have you asked them to buy now? Or would they want more information? Do they need more? What are the questions that they're thinking about when they're looking at your messaging? So you want to think about things like, I'm at the landing page or their funnel, everything's looking great, but I don't know if this product suits me. I want a subscription model. I want to know how it's made. I want to know what it's about. I want to know how I'm going to use it. Think about the messages that have come to them once they're sitting there making the decision. The other thing you want to think about is your funnel alignment. So does the landing page match what the ad is saying? Does it match what your brand should be representing? Are you selling in the way that aligns with your business and your values? For example, are we telling them to contact us as opposed to making a purchase straight away? Are we telling them to learn about the product, get to know it, get to love it so that they can commit to purchasing or they can commit to the sale? Or if you're a service provider, are we telling them after the ad what you're all about, why they should choose you as their plumber or their electrician or their accountant? What is going to stand out to them in that phase? Or are they being dropped into a rabbit hole that makes no sense? So the other thing to think about is, what is the real cost of getting it wrong? What's the cost of jumping the gun, getting in front of it, going, I'm going to get it out there now because getting it done is fine and it's good enough to get out? What are you missing when you're losing sales? I'll break it down for you. Instantly, if you're not getting those trust factors, if you're not saying the right things, they'll get to the ad, they'll come to your funnel or your page, and they'll see things that don't align with them or that they won't trust or like or connect with. And they'll go, nope, not going further, not going to do this. This business doesn't align for me. You're going to lose the sale. You're going to do a lot more than lose the sale though, because what's actually happening in that sort of scenario where you've got the delivery, the funnel, where you've got the ads right, but you've got the delivery and the funnel wrong, is that person's going to sit there and go, wow, these guys are dodgy. They don't have a good brand. I can't relate to them. Next time I need something that they're selling or they're offering, I'm definitely not going to choose them. And then you've changed the mindset. It's not just losing the sale, you've actually changed a customer or client's mindset, and you'll either never get them back or you're going to have to work 10 times, sometimes more, harder to get them back again. And that's really going to actually waste your ad spend. So you'll be burning through budget on paid traffic and referrals to that same person that you have turned off because they first saw that and already have a negative feeling or association about your business or brand. So every confused visitor isn't just a lost sale, it's a missed opportunity and one you'll have to work harder for to get them back. And it's silent. So this is the thing that no one realizes. They're not going to write back to you and tell you you've lost their business, or they're never going to purchase your product, or they're never going to reach out again. You're never going to know because it's all happening up in here. And for people listening on a podcast, I'm pointing to my head. So the thing you need to think about, the hidden disconnect between ads and website, even with a high performing ad campaign, if your brand looks untrustworthy, if your website causes friction, leaves doubt, if your offer feels confusing, you'll still get 10 leads a month. And yet we can track it because we're looking at click-through rates because we now know all about that. We're looking at on-page behavior and how they're interacting. We're looking at how they're adding their products to cart or making the bookings but not following through with the sale and dropping off. And we're looking at how your funnel's leaking. But if the landing page experience sucks, even the best ads can't save you. Quick break. If you're loving this episode and thinking, I really need help with this, we've got you. If you're growing your business on your own and want expert guidance, check out our DIY workshops. Or if you're ready for the power of a done-for-you agency, we can help with that too. Just follow the links in the show notes to find out more. Back to the episode. Let's recap a little bit here. What are the 4 conversion killers that we just talked about? 1, your website isn't built to convert. You're treating it like a brochure, not a sales funnel. It's pretty, but it's probably not profitable. What do you want your visitors to do? Can they figure it out in 3 seconds? Number 2, your brand is looking outdated. Probably haven't given it a refresh in over 5 years, or you had someone dodgy do a brand that doesn't make sense, or even worse, and this is a funny one, you're using colors that go against your brand values. So you're using lots of reds and you're promoting discounts and sales, but you're not about sales, you're about delivering quality of work. So think about how the brand looks, whether it's outdated, if it's aligning, whether it's on brand, because off-brand visuals, DIY design, and stocky imagery easily lose trust. Premium clients won't trust non-premium branding. Remember that. So getting on to number 3, your copy. It doesn't create desire. It's vague, flat, or robotic. Hello, ChatGPT. How many times have I seen clients do this? ChatGPT has no heart. It's great as a prompter. It's not so great at aligning your business with the right people. So keep that in mind, because if your copy is flat, if you're not creating the desire, you're not persuading them, for those people that read the copy, mind you, because remember, you're talking to different audience types here. For people who are reading copy, you've got the 2 types of audiences. You've got people who will skim what you're saying and they're more focused on visuals and what the sound or branding is doing or saying to them. And then you've got people who look at copy, read deeply, hang on to every single word, every promise, every mention of what they're going to get. And they're going to go, this doesn't sound right to me. So ask yourself, does your copy say what it should say and say what's right for your business? Or does it not tap into the problems, outcomes? Is it not creating urgency? Think about all those emotional drivers that people want to see when they're interacting or reading about your business or what you offer. And then you also want to look at your sales process. Does it nurture? Is it something that requires high commitment? Is it asking them to do something? Maybe they've only just seen your ad. Maybe they've gone to a landing page. They've never heard of you before, but you're asking them to give you money. You're asking them to commit to a high offer, or maybe you want them to sign up to something or purchase a product. What are you doing to warm them up to get to know you, to build trust? Where's the low risk opt-in? Where's the lead magnet? Where's the follow-up? What's the sequence look like? People need a journey. They don't want to be pushed into a sale, even off a great ad. So ask yourself, here's the trifecta. You've got your brand and your copy. Does my brand build trust and spark action? You've got your website. Is it built to convert or just show off a pretty magazine style editorial? Are your ads aligned with the experience that you're delivering? So if you answered no to even just one of these, what are you going to do about it? Well, we just talked about it. You need to audit your own experience. You need to look at your website through fresh eyes, put a different hat on, pretend you've never heard or seen your business before. Or you get someone who knows what to look for, knows what to look out for, knows how to read the metrics and interpret things to do it for you, aka a professional or a coach or a workshop. Think about how you can get someone else's experience and expertise involved for your budget. And you want to match your funnel to the audience journey. So you want to think about what's right for your audience. And this is where you need to plan out what your audience wants to hear. So don't ask for marriage on the first click. Get help. Think about your options. Think about referring to a professional. Think about getting some education or being part of a workshop or a program. Either way, look at the strategy that aligns with your brand and funnel. Copy that connects and converts, design that builds instant trust, and a website flow that people move from click to client. So here's something that everyone needs to remember. At the end of the day, if you're doing everything right and right for your business, your website should be the best salesperson you've ever had, not your biggest leak. If you're not getting leads, it's time to stop blaming the algorithm or the ad platform or the funnel and look at what happens after the click. Because if your site isn't doing its job, no amount of traffic will save it. And if you're ready to fix that, you can do something about it. So guys, to wrap up what we've just talked about, I've walked you through a few things to think about when you're losing sales online and what the killer to your conversions might be. Take a minute, go through the show notes, have a read of what we've gone through, and really think about it critically from your standpoint in your business. Have you paid attention to the warning signs? And remember, don't just do it because it's an idea, do it because it's right for your business. I'll see you in the next episode. If you got value from today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a straight talking strategy to move your business forward. If you want more support, check out the link in the show notes for our step-by-step workshops that will help you build a better business, leveraging the right marketing tactics. Or if you're ready for the power of a done-for-you solution, chat with our team and we'll see how we might be able to help you. And don't forget to follow us on socials at Marketing Your Brand. And remember, no matter where you're at in business, take the next right step for you.